Chapter 729, The Divine Dragon Transformation. This chapter is updated by Novels.pl. The Divine Dragon Transformation. Zhang Yuochen murmured to himself. Howl! A dragon roar bellowed from the Colosseum. It reverberated throughout the entire Shentai city. Zhang Yuochen tried his best to mobilize the power of the Dragon Pearl. His body kept expanding as dragon scales and claws emerged from his body, turning him into a golden dragon. He raised his golden claw to smack Snake 2 in the head. The Divine Dragon Transformation was a martial technique of the ghost-level superior class. By utilizing the power of the dragon and elephant Prajnapalm as well as the dragon chi from his golden dragon pearl, Zhang Yuochen could display this powerful technique. He activated the shooting star invisible cloak. He was not trying to disguise his whereabouts but hiding the aura of his golden dragon pearl. It was imperative that the saints within Shentai City not detect its presence. Snake 2 could not see Zhang Yuochen's body but she could feel a strong brutal energy crushing her, denting her celestial body. She yelled. Sword 1. She held her sword hilt in both hands, mobilizing the full power of Sword 1's completion. She lunged out with a stab. Her sword was like a white bow surging up into the horizon. The power of Sword 1 was indeed very impressive. It was one of the most lethal moves in the Fish Dragon realm. The Divine Dragon Transformation, however, was one of the supreme techniques of the ghost-level superior class, almost matching a king's stage technique. It was not a move she could counter. With a loud crash, Zhang Yuochen's dragon claw broke through and shattered her celestial body. She yelled and the Dharma Laksana. It clashed with her snake-shaped sword, sending her flying back. Zhang Yuochen had suppressed her power. Even though she had executed the extraordinarily powerful Sword 1, she could not counter his Divine Dragon Transformation attack. Zhang Yuochen kept striking with his claws, hitting out 27 times in a row. Boom, boom. Each claw contained boundless power, comparable to a first-level half-saint's all-out strike. Snake 2 kept backing away, coughing out blood. Even though Snake 2 was displaying the Snake Phantom move, she found it impossible to dodge his strikes. How terrible is Lin Yue's power? Snake 2 has no way to counter his moves. What made him so strong all of a sudden? Why do I smell a faint dragon chi? Did Lin Yue mobilize the power of the Divine Dragon Bone? How could that be? Lin Yue isn't from the Dragon Tribe. It's impossible for someone outside the tribe to refine the Divine Dragon Bone. Besides, even if he was, there hasn't been enough time to do that. At the top of the array tower, the Saint Lady looked perplexed as well. She too could feel his dragon chi emanating from the Colosseum. Yet the aura was disguised by his shooting star invisible cloak. It left her trying to figure out what it was. So Lin Yue has a trump card. No wonder he dares to fight one of the top 4 masters from the demonic sect alone. Her lips curved into a faint smile. She suddenly felt that Lin Yue had taken on an even more mysterious air. Saint Lingding was afraid that the Saint Lady would misunderstand Lin Yue. He quickly explained. Lin Yue must be displaying a martial technique of the ghost-level superior class. He has undergone some miraculous encounters. I suppose he must have imbibed a dragon pearl and mastered this remarkable skill. The Divine Dragon Transformation was a martial technique that could nearly rival a king's stage technique. Even half-saints found it difficult to counter. It was really quite an achievement for a monk in the Fish Dragon realm to master this skill. Of course, the Saint Lady could tell that Lin Yue was executing the Divine Dragon Transformation technique. Hearing Saint Lingding's words, she kept quiet, smiling faintly. No one could guess what was going through her mind. Alxinian could also sense the dragon chi. She instantly recognized it as the aura of a Divine Dragon Transformation practitioner. How could such a coincidence occur? She could now confirm with a 90% certainty that Lin Yue was actually Zhang Yuochen. Everyone in the world thought he was dead. No one had expected him to hide within the Yin and Yang sect under a new guise. He mastered everything with so much poise that it was almost unbelievable. Alxinian assumed that it must be difficult for Zhang Ruochen to keep his identity a secret. Yet if he was still alive, how could he not have let her know? Alxinian had given her first kiss to Zhang Yuochen. She certainly harbored feelings for this man who had saved her life many times. Yet she was not entirely aware of her true feelings herself. Because of this, she looked quite upset. Now that she knew he wasn't dead, She bit her lip and stared at him resentfully. She was more than a little annoyed. Inside the Colosseum, Zhang Yuochen was forcing Snake 2 back with a series of strikes. She could not counter him at all. Brother Lin Yue is unbeatable in combat. The top fighter from the demonic sect can't even withstand a single strike. An Archean survivor is only so-so. She can't beat the human talents from the eastern region. Countless voices were cheering. The monks from the eastern region were eager and enthusiastic. If Lin Yue could defeat Snake 2, he would crush the conceit and morale of the monks from the central region. Now that he had beaten 2 in a row, Snake 2 snorted coldly and steadied herself. Your true abilities are certainly quite strong. Looks like I need to go all out to beat you. Swoosh. She mobilized all of her spiritual power. A dazzling white light emerged and hovered in front of her chest. Her body seemed to contain a cold, scintillating star. Its power swept across the entire Colosseum. It was her Saint Heart. Snake 2's Saint Heart had been in her white snake body from birth. It was very different from a Saint Heart cultivated by a psychic sage. One can be sure about one thing. A white snake with a Saint Heart could reach the realm of a psychic sage more easily than most spiritual power geniuses. Snake 2's spiritual power had reached the peak of level 44. After mobilizing her Saint Heart, her spiritual power immediately soared to level 45. A spiritual power at level 45, the equivalent of a spiritual half-saint. As her spiritual power soared, she began manipulating her water nature power. Thick, dull gray clouds began to condense in the sky for an area covering 500 kilometers. The air surrounding Shentai City became dreary and oppressive. Rumble. She flicked her fingers slightly and a downpour began at once. Heavy rain pelted the streets and alleys within Shentai City. Snake 2 is a master in the Tao of the Sword, but her spiritual power is even more terrifying. Has she reached the realm of a spiritual half-saint? Half-Saint Kongling was quite astonished. Saint Lingding answered him. It's not easy to become a spiritual half-saint. Snake 2 is an Archean survivor, a white snake with a Saint Heart. She must have used her Saint Heart to elevate her spiritual power to a half-saint realm for a short period of time. But even a temporal half-saint can amass terrifying powers. Then he sighed. Now it seems certain Lin Yue will be defeated. Even a first-level half-saint would be in deep trouble coming face-to-face with a spiritual half-saint, let alone Lin Yue at the 7th change of the Fish-Dragon realm. The Saint Lady nodded quietly as well. Actually, Lin Yue has great spiritual power too. But he doesn't have Snake 2's innate advantages. It will be quite natural for him to taste defeat. As a monk at the 7th change of the Fish-Dragon realm, it is already quite an achievement to force her to use her Saint Heart. If he breaks into the 8th change, he will certainly be able to defeat her. Even the Saint Lady with her unwavering confidence in Lin Yue had to admit that he was still no match for Snake 2. The innate advantage of an Archean survivor could not be matched by a human being. However, she knew that Lin Yue had a secret trump card. If he made use of it, he might turn the tables and beat Snake 2. Just like Snake 2 was using her Saint Heart, Lin Yue could draw on power from an external source as well.